Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Bonafide Investing, where we talk all things high yield investing, as well as futures, options, and really investment goals in general. If you're new to the channel, welcome. To give you a little background about what we're doing here, long story short, I took a chunk of my net worth, about a quarter of it, and I've been experimenting with high yield strategies for about the past year and a half. And I've constructed what I consider an all weather, high yield portfolio that seeks to, number one, pay my bills, and number two, maintain and pay down my margin over time. Please hit like and subscribe. Please help support the channel. And again, everything we discuss here is never investment advice. Not now, not ever. So I wanted to talk about the portfolio today, my thoughts on the coming week here, and just really go through, some of my thoughts on options. I'm going to make an options video where I'm going to walk you through a mock options trade, not to be mimicked, not to be copied. But I like to, usually sell puts, and then if I'm put the shares, sell calls. Realty Income O is one of them that I really like to do it on. I like to sell puts. If I'm assigned, sell calls. Now, everything going on, I really don't see a lot of value out there. Realty Income is very sensitive to interest rates. And like I said, I thought rates would go higher. I've been saying it for a little over a month now, that long-term rates will go up no matter if the Federal Reserve is cutting or not, since the Fed cannot control the long end of the curve. They can only control the overnight rate, right? The short end. So I think inflation is going to reaccelerate. I think we are sitting on a precipice of a potential market crash. And I see very little to no value in these markets. I did, want to talk a little bit more about, where I think oil and natural gas could be headed 2026. I did buy a roughly a little over 2-month call on oil. Nat gas has been absolutely hammered as of late. So what I'll do, my plan with the oil $15 call is if we get a decent rally in natural gas here over the next couple months, I'll exercise it, take profits. If nat gas has really gone nowhere, then what I'll do is probably roll this out a little bit longer, as I think natural gas will have a better 26, just like oil. So we'll see, right? My total loss, I can only lose about $380 or so on this trade. My potential gain is infinite since I'm buying a call, but again, I won't get greedy. If I can make a decent return on this call, then I'll just take some profits and move on. So I added it to my other long calls on USO, XLE, and XOM that you can see here. But market's down. Latest news is that the executive branch is investigating the Federal Reserve. Usually when things like this are already in the news, it's usually already in the price of everything, typically, just like the things going on in Iran. So again, I don't see a lot of value here. I think markets will probably make a big move either up or down here over the next week or two. So like I said, unless I see a lot of value, I'm really going to not do too much at the moment. But as I mentioned, Realty Income earlier, I'm going to do a video on that, how to trade that, why I like the wheel strategy a lot for options. It's a very basic option strategy, and I think any trader can do it. I like it. I've had a lot of success with it. But with rates rising, I don't think that's going to bode well for REITs, real estate investment trusts, too well. So what I might do is just let rates, kind of rise, level off a little bit before starting the wheel on O. The premiums, again, volatility is still really low. I'm not seeing a lot of deals on even the blue chips and utilities where I think it's even worth my time and my collateral. So I'm going to be patient. Again, we're sitting at a total value of, in Cash Flow Life, showing a little over $464,000. That's my capital plus the $115,228.61 in margin being used. My margin buffer is still sitting at that 63.5%, which I like a lot. Gold and silver, precious metals in general, they are showing, in my opinion, bad things on the horizon. I've been wrong on gold and silver this year. I thought where we'd be now, they'd be at much lower prices. But I've said it before, gold is the one investment I will never sell, right? And I mean, like, I've got to be starving to really dump my gold. So in any form you hold your gold, I think it's still the best wealth preserver insurance there is out there. It's really shown that, the past couple of years, 2025 especially. So again, I'd much rather hold gold than US dollars. Unfortunately, you've got to pay your bills in US dollars. So that's how it goes. So I think it's going to be important to do your best to keep your costs as fixed as you can. If you're in a low interest fixed mortgage, I think you're going to be in a really good spot the next few decades. That is my opinion again only. And again, I would have, a rainy day fund stashed away, at least in a high yield money market account, maybe short-term treasury bills, something like that, where, you can always tap those if needed. And precious metals, right? Whatever forms you decide to hold, I've got my preferences on how I hold my precious metals. I've even got some here across the all-weather portfolio. I've got about a target of about 22% in gold and gold miners between GDXY, GLDY, IAUI, and IGLD. So again, I like those as a hedge, not only for inflation, but I just think crisis in general. I think there is a lot of uncertainty out there. I don't think we'd have to necessarily be scared or frightened away from investing, but I think that we need to be deliberate in our choices, not let our emotions get in the way. And like I've said, I'd rather, lose less than miss out on 10 or 20% to the upside, right? So always hedged. When's the market crash coming? Nobody knows. I hope it never comes, but the reality is that markets do correct. And I think that we're long overdue for a major crash. And yes, I will be bold enough to say something very similar to 1929, 2000, or even 2008, I think could be coming here and coming pretty soon. So I'll make a video again on options this week. I'll do a portfolio update over the weekend. And hope you got something from this video today. Have a great day.